set for that. I'm trying to remember where I did it. I'm panicking here. Yes, just there. Okay. Wow. Okay. Yep. Today, that's what we made it out of. It's all three. Okay. Okay, your message come on. Okay, it's raining. It should be. Don't see the error message on it. Okay. Yeah, right now it's. I didn't even get it. Solid. Appreciate it. Thanks, Jason. All right, guys. And good evening, everybody. We welcome you to the Windsor Stadium here in Grand Falls, Windsor. We are a little late getting on the air. A little technical issue to start things off. Of course, brand new season just underway in this game. We've got the Central Impact taking on the TriPen Osprey. George Scott, Robert Golding, and cameraman Steve Noseworthy. No score. We've got a power play here for TriPen. They're in the dark jerseys. They move it in, shot right on goal, and it is cleared out by the Impact. Corbett going back to get it in his own end. Robert Corbett. I want to thank the folks at AO.live. When we went on, we tested the stream this afternoon. Everything was working. Tried to go on a few minutes before game time. Here's Harnham, shot. That stopped by the goaltender O'Leary, and it goes up and out of play. And suddenly our stream didn't work. Quick phone call, and they jumped on board and got it all up and running. So, Robert, we are live, I think.
Technology is amazing, George.
It's great when it works. You know.
Yes.
I'm great when everything works. It's when it doesn't that
panic
sets in.
Friend of mine, one time I said, my computer's not working. He said, what? He said, have you tried the power button?
That's it. Turn it off, turn it on again.
Thank you.
If that doesn't work, it's beyond science. We missed out on our little pregame show we were hoping to do, a little chat, but we'll do that as the game goes on to get you all up to date. Here's Simmons back at the point. Top of the circle, a shot again, stopped by the goaltender. That one went out of play. O'Leary's come up with a couple of big saves for the Impact early in this one. 53 seconds to go in the power play.
George, actually, the TriPen had a couple of close opportunities in the initial shift of the period, and I know that Coach Casey's looking down at his D right now. They're allowing too many uncontested shots.
Redo the face-off.
Yeah, the referee was having a chat with the at the players' bench.
We're hoping to have head coach Brian Casey join us during the first intermission. Robert, have a little chat with you. Didn't hear the whistle, but
no, it's
we're going to do that one again.
Players weren't ready. Officials are ready. I'm not quite sure what's going on. We weren't ready to get on, but we are here now.
Russell in to take the face-off against Clendenning. And it's won by Clendenning, and the impact will clear it the length of the ice.
Will Clendenning, a young forward from Grand Falls, Windsor, first-year player. Coaching staff are looking at good things from Will Clendenning. Great skater.
Yep. And a very good basketball player, too.
Yes, he is.
I played and refereed when his father played in the men's league. Chad Clendenning. Good ball player. And Will was a good player, too. I was surprised that he did the hockey rather than the basketball. But by all accounts, he's quite the hockey player. Byrne steals it. Speaking of quite the hockey players, Adam Byrne.
Yeah.
Out of Gander. We saw him play last year in the U16 league, which is kind of a feeder league for this one, and he stood out maybe head and shoulders above everybody else.
Boy, he led the league in scoring last year.
Yeah, and the Impact had by far the best team in that league last year. They won the league championship, the U16.
Lost one game for the whole season.
Yeah, they were a powerhouse. Fed in front is tipped just wide as the penalty has expired.
5 players from that team that are joining this under-18 team this year, George.
Yeah, Clendenning is one, and Byrne is another. We'll get to the others a little bit later. Dumped out to center, shot back in by Hillier. Osprey are changing. Be careful there. They make the change. The puck comes up along their bench.
Of course, Parker Ellis on D is another one.
Yep.
Team is looking for really good things from him this year. An exceptional skater.
I was talking to Parker Ellis's great-grandparents before the game. They are here to watch Parker play.
Awesome.
Osprey keep it in. The Impact, by the way, off to a great start. They've already played 4 regular season games and 2 exhibition games. They are 3-1 in the regular season, and they won both their exhibition games. So, promising start for the Impact.
And their only loss was a 3-1 loss, which was a great
3-2, I believe.
Excuse me, 3-2 for George.
To the Growlers, last year's champions. Yeah, they played the kickoff tournament a couple of weeks ago out on the Avalon, and they came away 3 wins and a loss. Here's Hounsell. Hounsell with a snapshot and a good glove save. It's Pitcher in goal for the Osprey. Came up with maybe his best save of the game. I missed the first couple of minutes. I was on the phone to tech support.
It's going to be a penalty behind the play here, George.
Rob Canning has called one.
He actually called, but he put his hand at my mistake there.
Okay.
He's actually going right to the benches right away. You cannot change on the icing.
That's what it was. He was indicating he couldn't change. That's why his arm was in the air. Back at the point. Thrown in behind the goal. Impactor on it. This is Pittman. He's pushed off the puck. Head out through the crease. Nobody there. Back at the point. Quinn Price will hold it in. It's back up to Price. Jumped in.
Quinn Price is expected to be a leader on D here this year, George. Has established himself as an everyday player last year. Bigger things are expected of him again this year.
And it'll be held by Pitcher. We'll get a face-off down in the Osprey end. Both teams will get interchange with 11:50 to go in the opening period. Still no score.
George, looking at this Impact team, and I can remember their ID camp back summer, and then, of course, their evaluation camp back in the late summer, and looking at how the team has really come about. Speaking to former coach and owner of this Impact Under-18 team, Shane Luckenchuk, 6 years ago when they established this team, they had 22 people trying out for the team, George.
Wow.
And now if you look at how far it's come.
Man, how bad would you feel if you didn't get picked?
I think you did. I think me and you could have made it, George, if it was, well, we'd probably be the 23rd if there was 22 players.
Need someone to fill the water bottles.
Well, yeah, the program has just gone tremendous.
They had a pretty good year last year. Kind of things fell apart for them a little bit at the year-end tournament.
Yeah, well,
they lost all their games and dropped all the way down to 3rd or 4th and ended up having to play that extra semifinal. 4th, I guess.
A pivotal moment for the team last year, George, if many people can remember, is when they went over to the West Coast and they beat the Western team on a Saturday night. and 6-1, 6-2. And then they lost the next morning, Sunday afternoon, 4-1. And that was the Western Kings' first win of the season.
Right.
And from then on, Impact had a really tough go of it. They lost 8 of 11 games by 1 goal. But as I was speaking to Coach Casey, they were losses.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many goals you lose by. Huh? All right, dumped in. Corbett back to get it. Still no score in this one. Impact in there quickly trying to forecheck. That's taken away. Up along the boards. Kept in. Jacobs turning. Good forecheck here by the Impact. They come up with the loose puck. That hit the outside of the net. Hanrahan behind the goal. Third-year player with the Impact out of Lewisport.
Yeah, steady player. Fulfills the role down low. Good penalty killer. Strong legs.
It's picked off. The Osprey will bring it in. That shot right on goal. Again, O'Leary with the save.
If you look on the left side here, George, number 12, Lukash, coming up from the South Coast. He's a third-year player as well, first year or so. He was an AP, got to play a few games. And last year, penciled him in on a regular basis. Didn't work out a lot for him, but he's expected to be a solid forward for them this year. Great forechecker.
Still had the power play up there for the Osprey from a few moments ago. Get rid of that. No training camp for us, Robert. We're jump right into it.
Oh, yeah. Just get your feet wet.
Haven't done a hockey game where I've had to operate the equipment that since the herder last year.
Didn't you have a busy summer?
I did. I did some ball hockey for Canada Ball Hockey again, but what they did is they had a different production team. I just had to show up and grab the headset.
Much like I do?
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
I said it was like Sinatra, just grab the mic and sing. You know, to do the sound check and all that kind of stuff, right? It's brought in just onside. Got in the corner, players piling down there. It's cleared around to the other side, picked up over there by Hogan. Hogan back at the point, kept in by the Osprey. Shot from the hash marks by Hogan. Stop that. Hops over the stick of Corbett. Fowler trying to get it to the front of the goal. Cleared away by Simmons. And Hogan backhands it out. Hughes has got it. That hit his skate. Stayed in. Lock for the Impact. He'll bring it back to his own blue line. Made a little bit of space. Hughes off the boards. Osprey changing to an open wing. Price will pick it up over there. Monk was watching him. Yeah, I got to go to Saskatoon and Winnipeg for a couple of ball hockey events this summer.
Good spots in the summer. I'm not too sure about the winter.
It was actually quite cool.
Oh, wow.
Surprisingly cool in Winnipeg. Got up one morning, it was at 7 degrees in August.
Oh, that's not good.
And in Saskatoon, with the forest fires in BC and Alberta, we could see every day it was just a hazy sky. And of course, doesn't matter how warm or cold it is, we spend 14 hours a day in the stadium.
Yeah, there you go.
Long days. That's dumped in, and that will be icing against the Osprey.
Yeah, it was a delayed offside. They couldn't get out, so therefore it's either one or the other. And because of that, it's going to come all the way back. It will be icing. They couldn't touch the puck. They touched the puck. It would have been an intentional offside, which would come back all the way in.
You got Mike Brent doing the lines.
Yeah, Mike's done a few games last year. Coming back again this year. Another good official, good skater.
Longtime captain of the Cataracts, of course.
Yes. 5-time Herder champion, Allen Cup champion.
Yeah, he was picked up by Deer Lake last year for the Herder. They were allowed to pick up a few players. They picked up 3 guys from Grand Falls, Windsor. Cody Drover and Jordan Marr and Mike Brent.
Yeah.
So the face-off in the Osprey end. We're down to 7:49 to go. Opening period, still no score. Pass for Monk. Monk will get to it first. Russell Monk. That's in front. Nice block by Ellis.
Great block.
Back to Corbett. Monk also played for Newfoundland and Labrador at the National Junior Ball Hockey Championships. There's a few guys. Right out in front, they score!
That's just a turnover 3 times, George.
Yeah, they
down below the goal. And the Impact had possession of the puck twice. And when you're getting forechecked hard, second and third chances, sometimes they find the back of the net, and that one they did.
Just see the very end of it there.
Yeah, Impact had possession of the puck twice, George. The last it came back out, goaltender made a good save, and then it came right back again and put it in underneath the pad. And we have our first goal of tonight's game.
Osprey up 1-0. Yeah, I got to get used to being in charge of all the technical aspects too.
Need to get some hired help.
Yeah, it was going to.
Kind of budget do we have, George?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. that speaks volumes. Trying to bring in my own water and Gatorade.
I think the budget is whatever I spend.
This is ridiculous. This is.
Yeah, I've got a bar stool. You're standing up.
I know. Yeah. I had to play golf tomorrow morning as well.
I'm actually going to play tomorrow.
Are you?
It'll be the first time I've played since last July.
Yeah, well, it is a beer tournament.
Down now.
No, I'm looking forward to it.
We've got a game to do tomorrow night. That's icing.
Yeah, we're early tomorrow.
Yeah, everybody's early. Shotgun start. 9:30 start, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah, the weather looks great. Hey, like 8 degrees and rain.
Yeah, balmy.
Beautiful.
Yeah, very balmy tomorrow. And George, why I got a moment here, as most people know, I teach up out with Collegiate, and a shout out to 2 international students here tonight watching their first high school hockey game from Germany.
Oh, wow.
Leah and Maya from Germany, and they're here tonight with a classmate of theirs who's watching the game. So a shout out to those 2 young ladies.
Guten Abend to them.
Well, is that German?
Yep.
Okay.
Good evening.
I got trouble pronouncing her name because she spells it M-I-A, and so I said Maya. She said, no, sir, Mia.
Mia.
Thank you.
Get that all the time. Yeah, I picked up a little bit of German when I was in Switzerland for ball hockey a few years ago. Guten Tag is good day. That shot is stopped by O'Leary. Guten Abend is good evening.
Oh, okay.
That's stolen away. Hodder shoots, stop, rebound is put over the top of the goal.
Fantastic save.
Pitcher
Great.
coming up big for the Osprey. James Hodder, who played on that U16 team last year, another one of those players.
And George, he possesses a really good shot. I watched him in 2 of the camps this summer, and what a quick release he has.
Puck down in along the boards, down to our right. Players all pile in there, and it comes loose. Seymour's got it for the Osprey, fed it out in front. Hodder comes away. Hodder quickly turning up the ice, gives it to Kosh. Drops it back for Hodder. That's going to be offside.
Kosh needed to get that puck from behind them to in front of them a little quicker. Very easy as a defender. And Corbett, who's a great defender on the left D for this TriPen team, was able to just poke that up a stick with relative ease. George, our first game of the season here in the Windsor Stadium tonight, and it's a pretty good-looking crowd.
Really good crowd.
I
Windsor
like
Stadium,
it.
one of those stadiums with seats only on one side.
Yeah, it's a nice group.
But as we look to our left and right, yeah, good turnout.
And, of course, this is a 3-game weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I'm told they had a really good crowd for the exhibition game. I missed it. I was working at the local movie theater that night.
Yeah.
But I'm told there was maybe 300 or 400 people.
There were.
King, body position on his man, came up with the puck, then turned it over in front. They score.
That's another
similar
turnover
to the first one.
Yeah, it's just really weak down low, George. The pucks are getting loose pucks, and the TriPen are really going there, George, and battling down low hard and outmanning the D. And anytime that happens, you know you're going to cause turnovers, which they just did, and in the back of the net again. And, George, we've seen Coach Casey a number of times throughout his coaching career call timeouts in real, I can't call them strange times, but different times. And I'm willing to bet if they don't have a couple of good shifts in a row, you'll see Coach Casey call a timeout.
A lot of high expectations for this Impact team this year, but
definitely
off to a rough start in their home opener. Down 2-0 late in the first period. Locke backhanded it in.
You speak to most people in this league, George, have been following this league for a number of years, and they expect the impact to be right there to the very end.
Locke turns back behind the goal, hopped over the stick of Byrne. Byrne will go back and get it. The Osprey coming in again, scramble in front of the goal. It's cleared to the corner, kept in by Simmons momentarily. Now will be brought out. Byrne fed it in front of a great pass and swept away by Pitcher on a good poke check.
Yeah, he got it to Fowler. Fowler's breaking in on the right side. They expect big things from Reed Fowler this year. Possesses a great shot. Good open ice player. It's going to be a hooking penalty behind the play, I'm thinking, George. Interference. And that was a nice pick that they had set. Referee was down low, just and enabled Reed Fowler to get in a little low. Of course, because he got in his skating zone, it's a penalty, and we see the Central Impact going in the first power play of the evening, and no such thing as a must-need a goal, but it'd be a great opportunity here for this team right now. Down 2-zip. 4:20 remaining in the first period.
Yeah, this would be a big goal now late in the first if they can get one.
It's about establishing momentum and breaking momentum. Referee Rob Canning is telling the Impact, you've already had your opportunity to change. The bodies that were out there had to stay out.
King gets waved out of the face-off circle. Pittman comes in to take the face-off against Deering. And Deering won the face-off, and that will allow the Osprey to send it the length of the ice. Caden Hillier, another new face on the Impact, to Pittman.
An AP play for them last year. Was a good player with the under-16 team. A much-needed right defenseman.
Back to the point for King. Down to Fowler. Works it down and along the goal line. Comes back to Fowler along the hash marks. To the side of the goal. Tried jamming in. That hit the side of the net. King back at the left point. Swings to the other side. A little bit of room there. That shot over the top of the goal. Good chance for Pittman. And that'll come all the way out. King back to get it. Bring it in, onside, a shot ripped wide, and again from that angle.
That's no good.
All the way back out, down into the Impact end.
You're on a power play, and it's a 3-on-2 down. You've got to hit the goaltender.
45 seconds to go in the man advantage, so keep it in. To the side of the goal again, Pitcher keeps it out, and the Osprey come up with the rebound, and again, send it down the ice.
I don't think that Byrne realized that Fowler was on the weak side coming in all alone. He went to his backhand.
25 seconds to go now in the penalty. Ellis with a shot over the top of the goal. Rebound goes to the corner. Impact on it first. It's Hounsell. Strickland with a shot that went off the skate of Deering. Back to Ellis. Ellis feeds it in front. That was tipped just wide by Hounsell. Comes out to Hounsell, goes between his skates, and the Osprey come up with it, and that's going to do it for the power plays. We're back now to even strength. Missed everybody, and that'll be icing against the Osprey with 2:10 to go in the first.
One thing you had to realize as a forward too, if you're on the power play for the Impact team, just because you're on the power play doesn't mean that you can extend your shift by over a minute. And two players at that particular time did, and because of that, they lost puck possession. And at the tail end of the power play, results in an icing against. You have to be disciplined. And discipline doesn't mean just not taking penalties. It means knowing when to get off the ice.
Strickland shoots it in for the Impact. Again, it's 5-on-5 now. Ellis dump it down deep. Locke behind the goal. Locke back up high. Ellis, more of a pass, but ended up going right on goal, and pad save made by the goaltender.
It's going to be a high it'll play. The thing is, what Ellis, he has great vision on the ice, George, and he had an opportunity to shoot the puck, but he also saw a left winger down off to the side, so it was more of one of these pass shots Goaltender made a nice pad save.
I was hoping for a deflection on that one. Face-off, well, they're going to discuss it. Right now they're saying it's outside the blue line.
Yeah, it went up and off the mesh.
Oh, they're going to bring it. No, they're going to keep it right there. Okay. Face-off win for the Osprey. Corbett turning in his corner. Along the boards, gets it to Monk. Monk, nice centering pass. Hurley dumps it in. Back there first is Hughes. The Impact come away with it. Block. Just gets rid of it down the ice. Corbett won't be enough for icing. Corbett's got it. They're on him in a hurry. There's a good job to move the puck out to the blue line, and then they'll get it in deeper. Well, they try to hit the linesman. Deering's backhand hit the linesman.
Simmons, another good puck rushing D for the TriPen. Georgia really like the way he comes off the right side.
Laid offside. That will allow the Impact to bring it out. Kosh down the left side. Defenseman fell down. Kosh feeding it in front. Went by everybody. Sits in the slot. Good read there by Pittman to hold it in. I'm sorry, it's Hanrahan, 22. We're into the final minute of the opening period, but 40 seconds left to go. As they hold it against the boards.
For rugby scrum.
Finally it comes loose. Deering can't get it out. Comes back to the other side, looking for Haggett. That didn't work. And then they'll get it down the ice. Hughes back to get it. 20 seconds to go in the period. Hughes will shoot it in. Hanrahan comes up with it. Hanrahan back at the point for Price. Price centers it, shoots it right on goal. It stopped, and again the rebound taken by the Osprey. Off the stick, dumped in, just 4 seconds to go, and the puck goes into the corner. That's going to do it. Good opening period for the visiting team, the TriPen Osprey, as they lead it 2-0 after the opening period. And hopefully Brian Casey will remember to drop up and have a chat.
He may be thinking about other things right now.
He may be.
But we shall see. Actually, he just gave me the nod, George, that he is coming up. So
okay, shots on goal in that first period, even 15 apiece. Sam Pitcher in goal for TriPen. He's very good in that first period, made a number of big saves.
Yep.
Okay, Brian is here. I'm going to give him my headset, Robert.
Okay, sir.
And you and Brian can have a chat. So I get out of the way.
Anyway, folks, for our first intermission special guest, Mr. Brian Casey, head coach of the Central Impact. Brian, your assessment of the season thus far, early, and tonight's game.
Yeah, no, I first off, thanks for having me up, Robert.
Sure.
I like the way we've been going. We know that coming into the season, like we had a lot of changeover. You know, we have, I don't know, probably like 8 to 10 new players. So the first weekend, the kickoff was a successful weekend, we thought. I mean, we won 3 out of 4, but I think for me, I mean, the wins and losses is one thing, but it's the habits early, right? And you know, we really like what we saw that weekend, and obviously tonight, you know, you know, you get up for your home opener, and a couple of quick ones there get in, but we just got to keep finding a way. Like our identity is no secret. We need to be on the forecheck extremely hard and try to will our way on turning pucks over and getting pucks to the net as much as you can. So we got a good group. I like our group. They're young, they're eager, they're all willing to learn, and hopefully there's lots of growth along the way.
And speaking of that, Brian, young doesn't mean that they're not experienced, because a number of these players came from the under-15 programs, the under-16 programs from last year, and the under-16 team last year, the Central under-16 team, were a dominant team in the provincial league. And 3 guys really jumped up. You know, I look at Parker Ellis, you know, who's an exceptional skater, who's expected as a first-year player to be and play a pivotal role for you this year. So the developmental aspect of your team is very pivotal this year. You know, speaking to Coach Coach Luckenchuck a number of years ago, when this program first came into being, 22 players tried out for the team. And now you had a couple of camps, one in early summer, one in late summer, and your ID camp. So the development for these young kids is amazing.
100%. And that's got to be our forte with this whole program. This year, Robert, you're bang on. We've had over 40 kids try out this team, and that sends a message that the program is healthy. But in saying that, though, I think it starts from the top, and I think Glenn and Shane have done a great job on fighting through the tough times, right?
Sure.
And when you dug through those and you put the program where it is today, it entices one of kids that want to come out and try and hopefully be part of it. But we've been fortunate that the U15 program has gone well. Last year, the U16 team, at the first year, coming in existence, it just allows us to have more players develop at a certain pace where when they get to this level, they're able to adjust that much better.
Well, two words that really come to mind, Brian, when I look at this team. One is respect, and one is credible. Credibility and respectability. And if you think about a number of years ago, maybe some of the other teams in the league really never gave the Central Impact a whole lot of respect, or it wasn't a credible program. It is now, most importantly, on the minds and the names and the lips of every player, and not only that, within this organization, but outside of the organization as well. Players want to come in Central Newfoundland and play for this Impact team, which is hats off to you, to Glenn, to Brian, and the entire organization.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And we try to run an organization here where, at the end of the day, as you know, the kids got to have fun, right? They got to have fun playing the game.
If they don't have the FU in, it's no 100%. Good.
100%. Like, this is not business. This is development. And I think you got to run it a certain way where kids are eager to come to the rink on every practice and game and be part of this. And so we try to really connect with them in a way where, you want to give them that little space, but yet at the same time, we do implement discipline, and there is standards that you have to meet if you want to be part of this, and I think more often than not, people respect that and they want to be part of that.
Yeah, and that just speaks volumes, Brian, because without discipline from the top down and not wanting to, do what required to help you win, you're not going to win all the time. We always know that. But the fun factor has got to be there. We got to realize there's still 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old kids. Without the fun, that's it. I'll let you go here now, but what do you have to do to change things up a little bit going into the second period?
I think we need to make quicker decisions in our end. We've got to be a little harder in front of our net. And as you know, you and I spoke to this, Robert, the games are often won in front of your defensive net and your offensive net.
Very
so
true.
We got to be very strong in our net, but yet at the same time, we got to make sure that we make the game hard for their opposing goalie as well. So hopefully we can have a good second here, respond, and get us back into this.
Okay, thanks very much for dropping off, Brian. I'll let you get back down to your team. All the best in the next two periods.
Thanks, Rob.
Have a good season.
All right, thanks very much for doing that, Robert, and thanks for Brian Casey for coming up and having a chat with you. Some good stuff there. Have a chance to listen in a little bit.
It's one of these programs, George, that is not only has it evolved, but it's gotten better each and every year. And that's got to be your goal. And I really like the fact that, Brian alluded to the fun factor. If it's not fun, why are we here? Right? Kids give up a lot of time. Parents give up a lot of time, money, travel, and the whole 9 yards. And if it's not fun, then why do we do it? And, you speak to all these kids, particularly at the end of the year, and we watched the Impact when they lost their last game, George, last year when we were down at the Joe Byrne, and we looked at the 6 graduating players who were leaving the programs. Some were there for 3 years, some were there for a couple, and some were first-year players, even though they were grade 12s. And if you speak to each and every one of them, they will tell you it's fun.
Yeah, it has to be fun. As you say, Brian said, it's not a business. It's about developing hockey players and seeing where they can go with their careers. And and play hockey later on. And
That's right.
yep. All right, let's take a break here, Robert. We've used up a lot of the intermission time, but we'll take a quick break, folks. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with period number 2 of this game between Central Impact and the TriPen Osprey. Osprey lead it 2-0 after the first period. We'll be right back. And we are underway here in period number 2. Osprey leading by a score of 2-0. And we've lost our time clock, by the way, Robert. Have to keep giving that verbally. It's tough to get it here at the Windsor Stadium. Talked about this in the past.
Yeah, there's sometimes it happens. We're going to have a penalty right away. George, a little trip on the goaltender as the player was going through, and there's got to be a player on the ice. He got his leg out in front of him, and it's an easy call. Goaltender's going to get a tripping. I hear a couple of players over here saying tripped up in his stick. He did trip on his stick. However, goaltender put his stick in his feet.
You don't see that one too often.
No, and the goaltender knew as right away. And you heard Coach Casey say, George, and I had asked him, going into the second period, what's a couple of things you have to change? And as he said, need to be stronger in front of our net, our goaltender, and
Robert,
of course down low.
Sorry to interrupt, but as we were getting ready for Coach Casey to come out right at the end of the period, there was another penalty called against the Osprey.
Yeah, I think it was an interference call, George, on the back of the play.
Right now it's 5-on-3 right now. Minute 24 to go in that first penalty. Minute 46 to go in the second one. So great opportunity here for the Impact early in the second period with a 2-man advantage. That shot scores!
That was a deflection, George, up and underneath the crossbar. And you look at the quick release of Reed Fowler on the point, George. He positioned himself out in the middle of the rink, and that's important. The middle of the rink, not off to the side. And just watch this up and underneath the bar. But
my first thought was that it hit the crossbar, but referee Rob Canning right on the spot.
Back bar,
that's in.
And of course, George, that's a real big one because there's still a minute 40 left on the second penalty. Getting shots to the net for quick releases is so important. Everybody talks about, we need to get shots at the net. It's not just getting them there, it's getting them there quickly.
Byrne in over the blue line. Byrne with a shot pitcher's got that easy save there, but that'll be a face-off now in the Osprey end. The minute 26 seconds to go in that second penalty to the Osprey. 5-on-4.
Second power play unit here now for the Impact, George, and you have Ellis out on D. He's the quarterback on this power play, this second unit.
And it comes to Ellis. Puts it on goal and reaching up and grabbing that easily is pitcher.
Yeah, he's just looking for a deflection there. He's hoping to create a screen. There was a screen, but no deflection.
But a big goal there for the Impact in the opening minute of this second period. Ellis had a little trouble with it, lost it in the skates. Impact with it out at center. Got to be careful there. Strickland to Ellis. He'll come back to Strickland. Ingram will shoot it in. Hounsell back at the point. Ellis. They fed it in front. The Osprey were there first. Can't get it out.
Came right to lock and fanned on it with the open net.
Shot played away by pitcher. That one hit the outside of the net. That one over the top of the goal. 25 seconds to go in the power play. Hounsell a shot. Right pad save made by pitcher. And that's cleared down the ice. Almost a giveaway.
That's a behind the player pass. Those of you got to be very careful.
Dumped into the corner. Locke will get there first. Behind the goal. Locke coming off the board, trying to work it out in front. Locke taking it behind the net. Pass to the open wing, kept in by Hughes. And the penalty is over. So the Impact get one goal out of that, but it's a big one.
Yeah, good puck possession, and that's important as well. And you develop a bit of confidence.
Russell, shot on goal, cleared away by O'Leary. Around the boards, Jacobs will keep it in over at the far point. Jacobs fanned on that shot, managed to keep it in.
Hanrahan lost the puck earlier, and then he exited the blue line too quickly. The puck's got to go first.
It's knocked away. Here's Hanrahan. The puck comes in front. Shot. Pitcher somehow recovers to make the save. Back at the blue line. Kept in again.
I think it might have hit the big D, number 66, George.
It may have, who's not on our list and no name on the back. So in the dark on who that is. Jacobs.
Oh, what a great opportunity. That's a bad penalty.
There's a penalty.
Yeah, that's
180 feet from your own net.
It's no good.
200 feet. What's the dimensions here?
Well, shorter than 2.
Seymour took the long stretch pass. Seymour backhand. That's stopped. Rebound put wide. Touched up.
Yeah, but Luke Kosh cannot do that on a forecheck, George. And you're 5 feet from the referee and you chop down on the stick and the legs. You just can't do, especially coming off 2 good power plays in a row. Those are the ones that really come back to hurt you. While I got an opportunity, George, I'd like to give a shout out to the Impact organization and their new jerseys, George, with the little yellow trim. I really like them.
I noticed it had a little extra color added to it.
I really like them.
Good that the color commentator picked up on that. Yeah. All right, power play, Osprey. Simmons. Got it to Hernum. Passed a little bit too far. Ellis has got it, and Ellis will get it out. Russell Monk brings it in. Monk drops it off. Hernum. Monk back to Hernum. Simmons is back at the point looking for it. They'll take it in deep behind the goal. Monk twisting and turning, trying to get himself free up along the boards. To Hernum. Hernum working off the boards. Backhand put wide. Deering couldn't get a stick on it. Impact will send it down the ice.
This power play unit for TriPen, George, is really good as well with Simmons and Deering, and of course Big Corbett on D. Really comes down low as well.
Under a minute to go now in the power play. Monk. Hughes is on him. That's number 4, Price rather, for the Impact and behind the goal. Simmons will keep it in. Deering, and that pass misfires, and Simmons is forced to go all the way back deep in his own end. Plays it off the boards to Hernum. 30 seconds left in the power play. Nice move by Hernum to get himself free. He's got some skating room. Cuts into the middle, drops it off. Corbett fed it through the crease. That shot put through the crease again. Nothing on goal, and nobody could get a stick on it, so no shots on goal. That was touched by Hanrahan. It goes all the way down to the goaltender pitcher with 10 seconds to go in the power play. Simmons. Shot right on goal. Easy catch there for O'Leary.
Really like the way that the Impact down low, George, kept the TriPen out to the perimeter. They really never got any good shots from the slot area in front of the goaltender. He had a couple of good rink wide passes, but hats off to them to kill that penalty after, or I shouldn't say kill the penalty. It's 4 seconds left.
4 seconds left in the penalty. Just over 14 minutes left to go in the second period. And now the penalty has expired. Hughes just gets it out over the blue line, knocked down. The Impact will come away with it. 3-on-1 down low. Shot stopped by pitcher. Good job by the defense. Really didn't give him a lot of options there.
Oh, Byrne took it himself. He had 2 guys that he could have passed it to. Chose to go the other way.
Haggett hard around the boards. Kept in by Jacobs. Fowler. Nice move at the blue line to get free. Got it ahead. Locke. Puck goes to the boards. To the side of the net. Into the face-off circles. It bounces around. Play to the near boards. Nobody there for the Osprey. Hilliard hustles in to keep it in for the Impact. Locke in there looking for it. That'll get past Haggett down the ice. No icing. Haggett hustles back, reverses it. Locke in there looking for it. Osprey in forechecking. Back to the point. Back behind the goal. Nobody could get a stick on it back there, so Locke will bring it out. Dumps it down the ice. And that will be icing against the Impact. We're down to 12:35 to go in the second period. It's a 1-goal game.
And George, that's what happens when you're at the ends of. I think this might be a timeout here.
Yep. Osprey's called a timeout, Robert.
Okay. But what happens, George, and you're at the end of shifts and you extend the shift, and you got to realize you have the long change here in the second period, and you don't have passing options. The only option is to ice the puck. And then you realize, oh my goodness, if I ice the puck, I can't get off, and we got to come back into defend. Yeah. So it's so important that you get off, and you've heard me say this before, George, and I don't like to beat a dead horse, but the thing is, anybody can get off when they're tired. I'm more importantly looking at the people who get off before they're tired. That shows me they're thinking about the team and then not themselves. And, you know, in the not too distant future, you're going to see Coach Casey and Coach Tremblett and King saying to their guys, listen, guys, we've got a long season. You're going to get plenty of ice time. I want you to get off before you're tired, not when you're tired. Tired is no good.
Yeah, tired is when the mistakes get made.
Well, that's what happens.
Yeah, it's too late.
Yeah, and we just saw, you know, I know it's only an icing play. And, of course, because there was a timeout, they get a little bit of a reprieve here. But if it wasn't, you know, it's hard to defend, especially when a fresh unit comes out for the opposition, you got to defend.
All right, 12 and a half to go here in the second. They're underway again. Locke gets it ahead. Hodder spread legs and tried to cut to the front of the goal. Had it knocked off a stick. Stays with it. Osprey get it to the boards. Be kept in by Ellis. Daring. Threw it in front. Chance here for Hodder, and another save by Pitcher as the puck just found its way to his stick.
Well, what happened, George? The Osprey were trying to get the puck. It hit off their own D-man. It came right to Hodder in the slot. He got a good quality shot away, and the goaltender made a fine save.
Lifted out by the Osprey, knocked down. That'll be a glove pass.
And that's a set play, George. As soon as the Osprey won that faceoff, goes to the left D-man. And, of course, they try to spring loose the right guy over on the far boards. And, of course, he does. Comes through, puck went a little further than he expected, and glove to head pass.
Ellis. The other side picked off by the Osprey, dumped in. Ellis rings it around the boards, rolling puck. It's going to go all the way down the ice. It'll be just enough to get an icing call against the Central Impact.
George, coaches will tell you all the time, it's how you play between the dots. And, you know, particularly if you're killing a penalty and on a power play, but even on 5-on-5 ice, it's how you play between the dots and isolating a guy coming off of the boards to come through for these short 12-foot passes. That's what's important.
McNeil took that pass right at the blue lines. Jersey McNeil. Shot stopped by pitcher Ingram from a very sharp angle. Got away a really good shot. Ingram's on it again. Oh, sorry, didn't come around to him. It's knocked down by the Osprey to the boards. And out they come. Corbett knocked down as he gets to the blue line. That's going to be an interference call, I would think, Robert.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of these can opener type plays. It's an easy call.
Referee Danielle Mills with the call.
Yeah, in the neutral zone. You can get in a guy's way, but you cannot make contact. You know, you can take his skating away, but you can't take his body without a puck possession. This is a real different look, George, for killing a penalty this year. If you look, Hanrahan has killed many of them. Luke Kosh has never been expected to kill penalties, but he is this year. And one reason being he's such a big presence and gets to the boards and plays hard.
Of course, these age group teams, you lose half your team every year.
Yep.
Or a third of your team, depending on how it's set up from year to year. But big turnover. Guys have changed their roles. That shot comes back to the point. Osprey stay on it. Harnum in the corner. Monk comes up with it. Russell Monk. Back to Harnum. Right on goal, and O'Leary.
And this is the TriPen's number one unit, George. You see with Corbett out there and Simmons, they always quarterback the power play. Harnum, of course, Deering and Monk. I can remember 3 of those guys even going back to last year, particularly the 2 D-men with Corbett and Simmons.
They are still out there. Corbett and Simmons.
They usually stay out for the full 2 minutes, actually.
Face-off win for the Impact. That will allow them to clear it. That's dumped in. Osprey on it first. And cleared out by the Impact. 50 seconds to go in the man advantage for the Osprey. Corbett gains the blue line, takes it to the outside. In behind the goal, and again, Impact come up with the loose puck. And I thought in the first period the Osprey were winning pretty much all the battles along the boards, coming up with all those loose pucks.
They did.
Impact have settled that down, are doing much better here in the second. And again, they'll get it out and racing onto it. Hounsell, breakaway shorthanded, and pitcher stretches out the left leg and got a toe on it. Nice job by Hounsell. Good body position.
It's got to be tired now.
The penalty is over. Pittman's got it. Pittman with a shot, went off the defenseman's leg. Same thing with the second attempt. Park with it. Blocked them both. Matt Russell along the boards for the Osprey. Taken by Fowler. Again, the Impact won that battle along the boards. Russell gave it away. Brought back in. Hughes. Hounsell. His shot. That went off the defenseman's stick and changed direction. Ended up going wide. Pass it. Seymour in the back of the skates. He finds it. Clears it in. Hughes back to get it. Up at the blue line. Locke will bring it out. Locke in over the blue line. Locke. If he went down, he might have drawn a penalty, but he's going to draw it anyway.
It's going to be another penalty here for Impact as well, I think, George, for a boarding call. They were getting the first one was a power play. I'm looking at referee Canning, and I think he's going to give one, maybe just the one.
The initial call was the tripping, I think, as Locke tried to go around the outside.
Yeah, got it upended a little.
No, I think you're right, Robert. I think you're going to go one each way.
Yeah.
Reed Fowler is going to go for the Impact.
Yeah, he went in afterwards, George, and it was a boarding call. It was a clear. And that's what happens. Unfortunately, for the Impact, they had a power play and a little bit undisciplined. Results in offsetting minor penalties.
Yeah, we'll stay 5-on-5.
I was looking down, and I could see that, referee Canning was looking as well. And, he had put a little bit of a shoulder into him in the boards, and he just can't do that.
Osprey short a player. The referee's over there saying, someone's got to come on, guys.
And he didn't realize it was a 5-on-5.
Okay, so Harnum comes out. We'll see who's going to take the face-off. It's going to be, it can't be Harnum. All right. Connor Green eventually came in to take the face-off for the Osprey. Backhand. That was just wide, rather, by Hodder.
Hodder's had a couple opportunities in this second period.
Puck went up into the mesh. Face-off will stay in the Osprey end. 8:06, by the way, left to go in the second period. Green couldn't get it out, kept in. Right in front, a great chance there for Hodder.
He's had a number.
Locke puts in between the two Osprey players. That pass taken by Hodder. Hodder played it between the skates of the defenseman, goes in behind the goal to get it. Parks on him. Harnum in to help out for the Osprey. Locke in there as well for the impact. And Locke comes up with it to the boards. Watched by Green. Pumps it in. Hillier thought about pinching in. Backed up. Green didn't have a stick. So not much he could do with it.
Very difficult.
Hodder's shot goes off a stick wide. And out it comes to an open wing. Jumping on it, Hogan. Daring in to help out. Just inside the blue line along the boards. Byrne back behind his goal to Haggett. Kept in.
Great job by the D. Keep that puck in on the right boards.
As Hillier gets it out at center. Shot off a leg, changed direction again. The goalie had to be quick to make the save.
That might go in.
Bounces out in front. Got to be careful. Park around the other side. Strickland will pinch in. Puck comes loose. McNeil kept it in momentarily for the impact. Now the Osprey will bring it out. Hurley-eye. It's a giveaway behind the goal. Back player had it on a stick and gave it away. Out down the ice. This will go just wide of the goal. Park gets back and it will be icing. Two penalized players back out on the ice. First whistle since their penalties expired.
Yeah, went for a period of time, over a couple of minutes.
6:03 left to go here in the second. Just under 6 left to go, second period. Still just 2-1. Osprey with a couple of goals in that first period. Impact responded with a power play goal, 5-on-3 with in the opening minute rather of the second period. And no scoring since then. Corbett shot right on goal. Blocker save made by O'Leary. Kosh couldn't get it out. Impact with it. Price. Quinn Price to center. Shoots it in. Hustling to try and get there is Kosh. The Osprey send it down the ice. Osprey with it down in their own end. Corbett spinning away from Clendenning. Corbett. Up ahead, Harnum. Forced to the outside. In there with Haggett. They go hard to the boards. Clendenning picks it up over the other side. That got past Pittman. Clendenning gets it ahead to Pittman. His pass was picked off. Follows up on it. A little scrambly at center. Jacobs forced back into his own end. Almost gave it away to Pittman. Puck goes to the far boards, comes out. Osprey get it in over the blue line. Drop back, blocker save made by O'Leary. Kept in, Jacobs. Down in deep. Button. Shot went wide. Osprey, good shift here. And shot on goal again. O'Leary calmly grabs that.
Good puck possession down low, George. But I really like the way that the Osprey were rotational that time. Nobody was stood still, and each of the players had moved 25, 30 feet. And, of course, when you do that, it creates a lot of difficulty for the opposition trying to defend against it. You really got to get on your horse and try to get between the two players to try to intercept the puck, which was hard to do.
Byrne couldn't get it out. Went off Jacobs and into the Osprey players bench.
One of the things you got to recognize, George, as a player about to make the pass, you've got to look at the guy that you're passing to. Is he being checked right away? And that's really one of the ones that maybe you shouldn't make that particular pass because it's really not going to result in anything that's going to be substantial, and we just saw that.
Last touch by an Impact player, so the face-off is in their end. Just over 3.5 minutes to go in the second. Byrne, chance to get away. Byrne in a little too deep, hit the outside of the net, stays with it. Adam Byrne, penalty coming up.
It's going to be a slash, I think, behind the net. Or a head contact.
Head contact.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of these inadvertent ones, but we know that as soon as you touch the head at all, it's an automatic penalty. And, of course, Big Corbett's a tall guy, and if he hits anybody anytime, it's almost automatic head contact.
Yeah, tall defenseman for the Osprey. So another power play for the Impact. 3:26 left to go, second period. Teams will play again tomorrow, a little half hour later.
Oh.
7:30 tomorrow evening, and then 10 o'clock Sunday morning.
10 o'clock Sunday morning, George.
10 o'clock Sunday morning, 10
good.
bells.
Wow, I like it.
I have to be at the movie theater by 1 o'clock at the very latest.
Okay.
So I hope it's a quick game.
Yeah.
It's deflected, they score!
George, their first goal was very similar. You look at Fowler back in the D, just get it at the net, and a great deflection in front. Hits off of the bottom. Just watch this great release. Fowler's calling for this puck. Just a nice wrist shot down low. Deflection goes off, and then I think Hodder actually may get credit for it.
I think it was Hodder in the high slot.
I think so. But it's so important that you see why faceoffs are vital, particularly on the power play in the offensive zone. And we just saw it. Puck possession is everything.
Osprey coming right back, and a nice glove save by O'Leary, the left-handed goaltender. The trapper in the right hand.
One of the things you're going to see with Coach Casey, they just scored a goal. He does not want them to have a bad shift after. And they turned the puck over in the neutral zone and resulted in a shot on goal.
They're saying Byrne, but on the replay, it certainly looked like Hodder up front. Byrne was down much closer to the goal.
He was on the other side. Anyway, either way you cut it, it's Fowler who gets a good quality shot away, and Adam Byrne gets the second goal of the evening. Good spot, good time. Coach Casey's going right back up with that unit. Fowler on right side with Byrne in the middle. And Aiden Locke, the Buccaneer, on the left side. Also Harnum and Button for the TriPen Osprey.
No icing. Impact player. A chance to play it. Behind the goal, Hughes. Nice little move there by Hughes. Faked the pass, kept it. And they don't get it out, though, as it goes up into the ceiling. And, Robert, as we got a minute now, I'm going to send out best wishes to former Impact player, former Cataract player, Ethan Sims.
Yes.
Involved in a horrific recreational vehicle accident earlier this summer. to undergo a series of surgeries, and it could be a long recovery for Ethan.
Yeah, our thoughts.
And certainly
Of
thinking
him
of
and his
him this
family.
evening. Rookie of the Year in the Central West Senior Hockey League last year with the Cataracts.
Yeah, had a couple of great seasons with this Central Impact team as well.
From TriPen.
Great kid.
Absolutely. Byrne. Well, delayed offside, didn't touch it. Play continues. 2 minutes to go. Yeah, a little sloppy at center. Back and forth. Fowler's got it. Can't touch it. Byrne was in way ahead of the play. That shot in. Corbett back to get it. Locke bumps him to the boards. McNeil was in to help out. Couldn't come up with it. Corbett got it to the boards. Gets centered and then just cleared out by the Osprey. Ellis. Nice pass off the boards. That finds Hodder. Hodder cutting for the goal. Hodder got it to the front of the goal. Pitcher hesitant, holds on. 1:11 to go in the second.
Impact got away with a offside then, George, as Aiden Locke is going to the bench. He's not out over the blue line. His partner comes off the ice out of the blue, but Aiden Locke is still inside. Linesman waved it off.
Jacobs takes it behind his goal. We've now got 1 minute left to go in the period. McNeil trying to get it out in front. Nice play by the goaltender to get the paddle of the stick down and prevent the pass from getting out in front, and then it's cleared by the Osprey. Ellis back in his own end. Looking for Hodder, a little bit too far for him, but he got past the Osprey player. Hodder to McNeil. Try to give it back to Hodder. Comes back to McNeil. Wrap around, hit the outside of the net. Hodder. He's tripped up, and he's going to draw a penalty against the Osprey. Robert, I was noticing that last play, too. Hodder, James Hodder, when he gets the puck on the outside, he's, as I mentioned earlier in the game, spreads the legs, and he's looking to cut to the front of the net. He's not looking to take it behind the net.
No, and he's a low center of gravity, George. He's got really strong legs. I can watch him at a couple of the camps, and I was so impressed with his release. But he really protects the puck well down low. And you've seen exactly what he just did. He put that leg out, and as you said, forced the D-man for the TriPen Osprey to upend him, and he's really strong down low.
Didn't get the shot on goal, but did draw a penalty. So with just 20 seconds to go in the period, not much time here for the Impact to go to work. Fowler in over the blue line. Fowler with a shot blocked by the defense. Puck sits there loose. They score!
7.8, George.
Not much time left to work with, but just enough.
But the thing is that the secondary opportunity come in. Reed Fowler picked that puck up in the neutral zone. Wasn't an easy pass. Made a real good move on the blue line. Got a good shot. And, of course, the secondary coming in and beat the goaltender through the legs. Big turnover.
So a big second period for the Impact. They scored a power play goal in the first minute of the period. They scored a power play goal with just 7 seconds left to go in the period. Those are big goals. You score them early in periods, late in periods.
They're always good.
So they've taken a 3-2 lead now after 2 as the buzzer goes to end period number 2. So Hodder, who we thought got the second goal, is given credit for this one.
Yep.
And we will take a break. We'll bow out quickly here for the intermission and come back with period number 3. We've got a 1-goal game between the Impact and the Osprey. 3-2. Impact leading this one. Shots on goal after 2 periods of play, 30-26, favoring the Impact. We'll be back in just a few minutes, everyone. And the teams are back out for period number 3. We've got a 1-goal game. Central Impact, TriPen Osprey. Newfoundland and Labrador U18 Major Hockey League. Opening, a home opener for the Impact. They did play 4 games earlier in the opening tournament. Finished that one at 3-1. And they've got a 1-goal lead here after the Osprey jumped out in front 2-0 in the first period. Byrne with a shot, short side knockdown. May have been going wide. Osprey come away. Backhanded in. Pass up at the blue line to Locke. Tried to go cross ice. That was picked off by Logan Butler. We've got the name now. Picked it up online. He wasn't on the program that we were given. Number 66 for Osprey. Fowler intercepted it. Impact bring it in. Player had a stick lifted. Locke with a shot off the defenseman, up and out of play.
Yeah, might have got away. Osprey with a little bit of a hook on Adam Byrne. It was undetected.
Hanrahan in to take the face-off, wins it cleanly back to Strickland. Trouble controlling the rolling puck, tried to put it towards the goal, it was knocked down, and the Osprey will bring it out. Button with a shot and a blocker save. That was a good hard shot, labeled short side.
He has a quick release.
Bounces around in front, Osprey on it again. That's how they scored their first 2 goals, from in behind the net, won the battle behind the net, got it out in front, and they're at it again. Here's Hanrahan. To Kosh, quickly across to King. King behind the goal. Finally pushed off by Harnham, but coming in to help out. It's Kosh. Robert, it's interesting to see some of these players. We watch them, they come in and they're in their first year with the Impact. They might play a couple of minutes here, a couple of minutes there, a few shifts here and there,
yep.
And then second year, you see them play a little more, and suddenly they get to their third year with the team, and they're taking a regular shift and key players on the team.
That's like I was speaking to Coach Casey in the first intermissions. It's all about the development, right? And as you alluded to earlier, sometimes you could lose 6, 7, maybe 8 players in a season going to the next season.
That shot through the crease, kicked
and,
away.
Case in point is Luke Kosh. He's one of the ones that you would look at a couple of years ago. Was in and out of the lineup. Played a little more last year, and now he's playing a regular shift this year.
Yeah, so Jaden Hanrahan and Zach King.
Yes.
Key parts of this team now.
They certainly are.
I remember I said to Jaden a couple of years ago, when he was just getting a few shifts, I said, patience. I said, another couple of years, you're going to be one of the regulars on this team.
Yeah,
you just need to have patience. You'll get there.
And the thing is, George, when you're there, not only in games, but you learn a lot in practice. And the coaching staff that this Impact team has put together over the last number of years, you can't help but learn from these gentlemen.
Clendenning passed a little bit too hard for Hounsell, bounced off his stick. Jacobs gave it away to Clendenning. Up top, Price steps in, top of the circle, shoots, and pitcher's got that in the glove and holds on.
And you notice, Price, as soon as he come in over that blue line, he's banging the stick on the ice. Give me that puck. I want that puck.
You got to want it.
You think him 2 years ago, that wouldn't have been the case. He'd be just happy if the puck came. He wants the puck now. And as a coach, you want to see that in your players, right?
And there's
confidence
Brian
gives
Casey.
you ice time. Ice time gives you confidence.
Brian Casey, Brian Tremlett,
Glenn King.
and Glenn King. The triumvirate.
Yes.
I think I haven't used that word in a long time.
That's a big one.
Ingram couldn't find the puck in his skates, goes behind the Impact goal. Hughes over into the corner. Hard off the boards and out. Butler shoots it back in. Touched by the goaltender. I think the lineman was ready to call icing.
He had his hand up. I wasn't quite sure why, but yeah, you're right there,
He
George.
dropped it when the goalie touched the puck. And it'll be kept in, at least momentarily, by the Osprey, and it'll be brought out. Ingram, he's poke checked right at the blue line. Didn't get in. Hodder, who's had a strong game for the Impact, tried to cut inside, and then he was cut off. Green tries to play it back to the defense. Butler up ahead. Pitcher leaves it for his defense. Corbett trying to spin away. Corbett's having trouble as Hodder's all over him. Hodder's got it. Fed it out, went between the goaltender and the post, and comes all the way out. Ellis off the boards. Deering with a shot over the top of the goal. Monk knocks that rebound out of the air. Down into the corner it goes. And just hold it against the boards.
There's a lot of nothing going on there.
Might get out of here early if they hold it there much longer. Finally, Osprey come up with it. A shot from Park. That was right on goal.
The board battle,
Another
George.
shot on goal from the boards, and O'Leary's got to be quick to make a couple of saves. Not both goaltenders have played well in this game, Robert.
I think so. Rebound control is very good.
A couple of deflections got past them, a scramble out in front, but anything they've seen, they've stopped both goaltenders.
And George, while we got a minute, just looking at the roster and so many players on this TriPen team from Bay Robertson. Of course, congratulations to Dawson Mercer signing a big contract with the Jersey Devils, $12 million over the next 3 years.
I think it's a 3-year deal he signed. Yeah,
it's not too bad. $4 million a year.
No, take that. I mean, it's not Ohtani numbers, but
well, is there anybody with Ohtani numbers?
No.
He had great numbers last night: 6 for 6, 3 home runs,
double.
Yeah,
only had 10 RBI though.
Only 10 RBIs. 51 and 51. 51 home runs, 51 stolen bases.
I mean,
incredible.
What he did last night was a great week for most players. It comes right in front, turnaround, couldn't get a shot through.
That's a great month for a lot of players.
Yep.
And wait till he starts pitching again next year.
I joked yesterday. I said, he's only half the player he used to be.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
And they haven't ruled him out for possibly pitching in the playoffs. I don't know if it's a mind game or if they're serious.
I don't think so.
I can't imagine after not pitching all year, but somebody said today, say you get to the World Series, you're down 2-0 or 3-0. Never know.
You never know is right. But he's a treat to watch.
Oh, yeah. That was touched with a high stick, but I thought it was first touched by the Impact player, but
I did as well.
They blow it down. It was close over there. Yeah, Vladdy hit 2 home runs last night for the Jays. Kind of pedestrian compared to Ohtani's numbers.
Just running a mill, what does that do?
And poor old Bo Bichette, out most of the year, finally gets back. 1 game, breaks a finger, done for the year.
He's had a couple of tough seasons, injury-wise.
I do like the young core now with this Blue Jays team. They got some young guys there who are playing really well since the All-Star break or since the trade deadline when they got rid of 7 players.
Yeah, well, and the thing is that they really have no other choice. I mean,
that's icing.
The team has really given the players an opportunity to win. They just haven't done what's needed to be done.
Vladdy and Bichette were frankly terrible in the first half of the season.
Yeah.
And if your 2 best players are not playing as your 2 best players, you're not going to be successful. Guerrero's been amazing since the All-Star break.
Yeah, he's a bona fide superstar. There's no question about it. But you got to have a support staff. You got to have players around you to protect you as well.
It's going to be an interesting offseason.
Again.
Because those young players, not only can they play, but they're good trade possibilities too. They've showcased them well in the last few weeks.
They really need a stud pitcher, I think, George. Amongst all the offense, as everything goes, unless you got a superstar like an Ohtani or an Judge, you got to have a little bit more of a formidable starting rotation.
And Francis Bowden continue his play next year. And his run in the last, 8 games? It's been as good a 7-8 game run as you've seen. Anyway, let's get back to hockey.
Yes.
Baseball will start it up again next year after the World Series, which the Jays will not be taking part in this year. Hounsell comes up with that loose puck down the corner, heads up the ice. Hounsell cutting inside. It's knocked down from behind. No penalty there. That's
not sure.
I thought he just got pushed. Frankly, I didn't think there was a penalty, but the referee agreed with me that time. That doesn't happen all that often.
Very rare.
Only because I get it wrong.
Well,
not that they do.
They never agree with me.
Price up the right side, gets to center, shoots it in.
Definitely hit something over there, which wasn't a part of the ice surface.
I don't know if it hit the linesman. It definitely changed direction, changed speed.
I think it might have hit one of those beams.
Stanchions?
Yeah. One of the white ones, and it didn't rattle in the mesh, but went undetected.
That would be out of play.
It would be.
But anyway.
You're talking about the hockey season. It's 19 days away, George, from the opening season.
I knew it was coming
for the
close.
NHL.
I hadn't checked it, but it's usually,
I think so.
You know, the end of the first week in October, like 8th, 9th, 10th, somewhere around there it usually starts.
Well, the Habs are undefeated so far. I like that.
It's been a good year so far. Butler behind his goal, stops up back there. Nice play by the defenseman. It's back to Butler. To Corbett. Corbett lifting up the middle. Ooh, up the middle.
Those are tough.
Seldom a good play. Way down in the corner. It's kept in. Butler back to get it.
This is a good shift here.
Burn across. That hit a stick. Here comes Seymour all alone on the rush. Couldn't beat the defense. There's Harnum. It's Nolan Harnum. Nolan, number 15, and Brody, number 12 for the Osprey. 2 Harnums. This is Green. Got a stick on it to direct it down into the corner. Just under 11 minutes to go here in the third.
Approaching the halfway point right here now, and this is where your coaches are relying on you to protect the puck.
Hilliard. That hit the referee. Tough break there. Good one for the Osprey, and a good save made by O'Leary. And from a sharp angle comes in front. Hilliard quick to clear it, and out it comes. Osprey come back with a good shift. Kosh trying to get around the outside of Simmons. Kosh forcing around behind the goal, keeps going, still with the puck. Trying to play it in front, it rattles around, cleared to the boards. Osprey are on it. Green gets it out, Hughes has it at center. Back to Price. Dumped in by King. King will head to the bench. Short shifts. Under 10 minutes to go in the third. Hughes. Over to Price. Glendening into the middle. Glendening rubbed that along the boards. Good play by Hurley.
Great job there. Good close.
And they give it away just inside the blue line. That's going to be a penalty coming up to the Osprey.
That's automatic. Once you get the stick engaged into the midsection of the arms, you turn a guy.
Both officials with their arms up, they'll confer to make sure they have the same call.
And they will.
And it is a hooking call against the Osprey. So another power play for the Impact. Comes with 9:23 to go in the third.
Shout out to the 2 birthday boys today, George. Jacko Glavine celebrating his 70th. Little celebration for Jacko tonight. And of course, our good groundskeeper, Mr. Barry Sparks.
Works at the Grand Falls Golf Course.
If I'm not mistaken, Barry 66 today.
66 it is.
A young Spraw 66. Happy birthday, Sparks and Jocko.
That pass misfires, goes down the ice, and it will be an icing call against the Impact while they have the man advantage. Minute 25 left to go in the power play.
Those passes are tough in the neutral zone, George, because you're stood still, and really you need to come out of units. And this is what Coach Casey is saying to Fowler right here now. We need to come back down and come out as a 5-man unit. Because Fowler actually, if he made that pass, it was a tough one on Hodder. Hodder's there all alone, 1-on-2. Need to have a little regroup and come out as a unit as they're doing here now.
Well, they won the faceoff. Now they need to get it into the offensive zone. Pittman brought it in, but turned it over. And it'll be sent back out.
Now Pittman went into the check, George, instead of away from it.
King, he's forced back. Right now, the Impact doing nothing on this power play. See if they can get it going. Fowler winding up. Whoop, almost lost an edge. Keeps going. Gently backhands it in. Hodder in there looking for it. It's poked to the far boards. Kept in by King. This is Ingram. Back to Fowler. Quick shot by King. That's kicked away by pitcher. Byrne. Right in front. Ingram couldn't get a stick on it as the puck bounced.
Nice little play.
Fowler. Ingram. Byrne. Hodder's in front. Back to Fowler, shoots, and not sure who that went off. He got off the goaltender. Faceoff stays inside the blue line anyway.
Yeah, went off his shoulder and up another play. Fowler was wanting the puck just a little bit earlier. He's got a good release as well. Full credit to the Osprey to keeping the puck out around the perimeter and really doing a good job of puck pursuit to pressure all of the 5 of the power play unit.
Just 10 seconds to go in the power play. That shot was headed short side, and the goaltender hit him, I think. Just a good position.
You're right.
Don't believe he could see it from.
He didn't know where it went, but it didn't go in.
There's a lot of traffic. But he hit him in the right arm. And that'll do it. Power play is over. Back down into the Osprey end. Just over 7 minutes left to go in regulation time. There's Park. Back to Butler. Up to Russell. Again, it doesn't get out. It goes up and out of play. Faceoff stays in the Osprey end.
Low bridge here in the Windsor Stadium.
Yeah.
The puck goes out of play a lot here, and you're down at the Joe Byrne. It's a higher rink, and of course, it doesn't have the beams down this low. And the puck goes out of play at the Joe Byrne high. It's high.
And speaking of the Joe Byrne, the Impact will host the mid-season tournament for this league.
Yeah,
coming up at the end of October, and that'll be at the Joe Byrne.
That's a new one. I like it.
And they used to do a kickoff tournament and a year-end one. They did away with the year-end and moved it to mid-season.
Are we doing those games, George?
They're in Tooten.
Okay. I'll check my schedule.
Hopefully we can do them all. I think there may be one conflict with scheduling. They may have to do one game here at the Windsor Stadium at the same time a game is being played at the Joe. So there may be one game we may miss out on, but we're going to try and do all the ones we can. That comes out. The Osprey have it. Harnum, poke check. Price stayed with him. Under 7 to go. Hit the back of the net, and Osprey are on it first. Chance for the Impact to move it. Pittman. Clendenning. Clendenning in over the blue line. Working against Simmons. Goes to the boards. Clendenning's got it. Back at the point. Price keeps it onside. Park grips it around the boards. Hughes will pick it up here on the near side. Back behind the goal it goes. Park will try the other side. Price got there but couldn't hold it in.
Does a good job recovering. And his D-man Hughes picked him up.
This line will change for the impact. 6 minutes to go in the third. It's Harnham. Price with it. Price heading up the ice, dumps it in, then he'll go to the bench. It's knocked down at the blue line, played to an open wing. Hanrahan with it. Hanrahan gave it away at center, but it got by Hemian and Jacobs. Back to pick it up. Puts on the brakes. Off the glass and out it comes. Haggett right there with Hillier. He'll give it to Hillier. And that'll go, well, I thought it was going to go into the players' bench. Didn't get there, stayed in play. Corbett will shoot it in just wide of the goal. Haggett on it first for the impact. Will backhand it out. 5 minutes left. 1 goal game. Played in, and this will be icing against the TriPen Osprey.
Yeah, good puck possession in the neutral zone. They had a player open, but a little too hard a pass out to the left side, and of course, because of that, results in an icing. You can't change any bodies.
Yep, no change icing. And also the hybrid icing call. Not sure what the discussion is.
Coach Casey spotted something. I don't know if he's saying that there was a player who wasn't on.
He spoke to the official, and the official then went down to the Osprey bench.
Yeah.
And spoke to Brad Russell, their head coach.
Maybe they're saying a few seconds went off.
I don't think so. It was 4:52. I thought that's what I saw just as the whistle went when I looked up. But there you see the two officials, Rob Canning and Danielle Mills.
I would think that Coach Casey wouldn't think about the time going off, but it is 5:02.
That must have happened before, because at one point I looked up and I said exactly 5 minutes left to go. Now it's showing 5:02.
Back in time.
So it must have happened prior to that whistle.
Okay.
You can fix it after a second whistle. Don't know. Apparently you can. All right. Face-off will be...
As they say, no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
Still not quite sure why. If I was the coach with the lead, I wouldn't mind. I want the clock to go down as quickly as it could.
Yeah, running time if you can.
Yes. Don't stop it, please.
Yeah, when you're behind, the clock goes too fast. When you're ahead, the
Whatever.
clock moves too slowly. Strickland off his skate, bouncing around, kept in, Locke with a good play, then he lost it. Button, who's got the button?
It's coming back again.
Hurl shot it in. Strickland battling behind his own goal. Osprey come up with it, and Simmons was pushed to the boards. And Corbett back to get it. Just lifted it down the ice, Hughes with it to Locke. Tips it into the Osprey end. And exactly 4 minutes to go. Ooh, fancy bit of juggling there by O'Leary.
Yeah, a little juggling act.
Hit the glove, he dropped it, played it back up with the stick, caught it on the second chance.
Pretty calm.
Yeah. Price trying to get up along the boards. And the puck's doing a lot of bouncing around out there.
It is. Is it a sponge puck, I wonder?
I remember trying to play road hockey with those miseries. One of the world's worst inventions.
Yeah. Yeah, good old tennis ball worked well for us.
Tennis ball, poke a hole in it. wouldn't bounce too much. Shot right on goal. O'Leary's got that. When you had that as a goaltender playing road hockey, you didn't need all the equipment and the gear.
No,
it's
that's
only
right.
when they came out with those hard
that made
hockey
a huge
balls.
difference.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of welts on the thighs and the legs with those.
Corbett.
Great move by Corbett there to elude the forechecker and make that pass.
Backhanded in by Daring. Behind the goal, Monk in there looking for it. 3 minutes to go. Kosh. King. Shot wide. Hanrahan looking for the rebound. Pitcher's got it. Not quite sure where it is. It's under his glove. Hanrahan was there. Just couldn't make good contact. Just got the heel of the stick on it.
I liked what King just did there then, George. Never had much of an opportunity. Just get it at the net. When you're on offense, you're coming down. You're ahead by a goal. You don't want to turn pucks over. Just get it at the goaltender. Force the goaltender to make the play.
Strickland. Dump it down into the corner. Out at center, it's missed. Ellis really had to hustle back as the puck hopped over his stick. Strickland holds it in. Osprey got a stick on it. It goes to the boards. Russell in there battling for it. Puts it behind the goal. Park. He's stopped up. Forced back by Pittman. Still in the Osprey end. Deep down in the corner against the boards. Finally it comes out. Dumped in by the Osprey. Under 2 to play. 1:50 left. In fact, get it out. Corbett forced back. Corbett spins. Pass up the blue line. Gave it away. Price picked that off. Gets the center. Dumps it in. Gets in just over the blue line. Price following up on it. Or that's Byrne, rather. Threw it in front. Comes back at the point. This is Price. Behind the goal. Corbett. Gets a lot of ice time.
Yeah, he won't be off anymore.
120
Simmons the
left.
same way.
Fowler with a shot. That just missed short side. Rebound was there. Somehow pitcher got over there and covered that left post. Along the boards. Hughes waiting for it. Backhanded down deep again. As we now have 1 minute to go in the third period in this one-goal game. Long stretch pass picked off. Brought back in by Price. Price swinging wide. He'll hold it. Price holding on to it. Dumps it behind the goal. You don't want to make that pass back at the point at this stage of the game.
Especially when you're a D-man down low.
Yeah. Slept off the boards. Price doing a great job in the last few minutes. Kept that in, shot on goal. Blocker saved by pitcher. To the boards of the impact. Again, keep it in. Looking for Byrne. Finally, the Osprey get it. 27 seconds to go. Goaltender's gone to the bench. 6 players out there now for the Osprey. Puck down inside the blue line. They get it in a little deeper along the hash marks. Back at the point it comes. Shot comes into the goaltender. O'Leary has it, and O'Leary holds on.
Maybe a timeout here now for Coach Casey, I think.
12.1 seconds left. No indication as I'm looking down there.
Now he's going to put out Hanrahan, who's arguably his best centerman. TriPen are going to call the timeout.
I thought they called the timeout early. Maybe that one went to the impact.
Yeah, maybe that might have been George.
I thought they pointed at the TriPen bench earlier for the
Yep.
timeout, but couldn't have been.
Do you only get one?
Always did.
Yeah.
Ball hockey you get 2, but you can't use 2 in the same period. How's that?
Okay.
And you don't get an extra one if it goes to overtime. That one I remember. Haven't done a hockey game since April. Ice hockey. So we are down to 12.1, 3-2. Impact leading this one. Face off deep in their end. The Osprey goal is empty.
You got to have two good face-off men out here now, and you got to have good board players, strong bodies.
You got to make sure you know your responsibilities. You don't want to leave somebody open on that face-off.
So you're gonna see hand-to-hand out here. Kosh, a big, strong kid. George, we talk about the development. If you look out here now, you got Zach King, Kosh, hand-to-hand. 2 years ago.
No, they'd be on the bench 2 years ago.
They'd be lucky to have a shift, right?
Cheering on their teammates. Now they're right in the thick of it. Hanrahan won it. It goes to the boards. Impact get it out of the zone. 5 seconds left. That's going to do it.
Great play.
As it goes down the ice. 1 second. Buzzer goes. And a come from behind victory for the home side in their home opener. They trailed this one 2-0 in the first period.
That's a great one, George. It's great for the hometown fans here at the Windsor Stadium. You're down 2-0. You're down 2-0 early. And if you can remember in the intermission with Coach Casey, we said, what do we have to do in the second period? And he said, got to play a little harder, a little stronger in front of our net. And they did.
No, they got a break at the beginning of that second period. That big goal.
Yeah.
There was a penalty late in the first, and they got one in the opening seconds of the second. Made it 5-on-3, and the Impact took advantage to cut it to a 2-1 lead, and then scored a couple after that. What a good start for this 3-game series between these two teams. The Impact moved to 4-1 in the regular season. They're off to a good start.
Winning breeds confidence, George. Confidence enables you to do things that you might not normally do. And a big victory for the Central Impact here tonight at the Windsor Stadium.
All right, here we are. Well, we're going to get some FaceTime here. Thanks, Steve. Steve knows we're our cameraman just there. Yeah, teams finish shaking hands. Folks, we'll be back again tomorrow. 7:30 is game time tomorrow night here at the Windsor Stadium, and then 10 o'clock Sunday morning. So, for Robert Golding, Steve Noseworthy, I'm George Scott. Folks, have yourselves a great night.